Check this out. This entire voiceover was generated inside Clipchamp. No mic, no recording, no retakes. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to use Clipchamp's text-to-speech feature step by step, so you can turn any script into a natural-sounding voiceover in minutes.
On that fateful day in 1944.
Pretty cool, right? But here's what most people don't realize. Some of the biggest YouTube channels use text-to-speech, and millions of people watch them every day. And today you're going to learn how. But make sure you're taking notes so you can avoid making those crucial text-to-speech mistakes that hold creators back. And I'll be sure to point out those gotchas along the way. With that said, if your goal is to build a channel like these, don't forget to like and subscribe to keep yourself up to date with the latest content. Now let's show you how to use text-to-speech in Clipchamp. Okay, go ahead and open up Clipchamp if you haven't already. And what we're going to do is go through 3 different examples. So click Create a New Video to get started. All right, we're going to get right to it. So go over to Record and Create on the left toolbar. From there, go down to Create and Text-to-Speech. That will simultaneously open up 2 things. First, you'll notice the new text-to-speech bar on the audio timeline. That represents the audio that is created from the text-to-speech pane. And then, of course, you have the text-to-speech pane on the right side, where you'll see a variety of options to manipulate, including the text you would like spoken. We'll start things off by selecting the language of the voice we would like to choose. This option will change the accent of the voice based on its origins. Then we'll go down to the voice field. As you can see, there are a lot of voices to choose from. As you scroll through, notice that each voice has a small description to give you an idea of the type of voice you'll hear. You can sample the voice by hitting the play button just underneath the voice.
Choose from a variety of voices to help you create a story worth sharing.
Let's hear another one.
Choose from a variety of voices to help you create a story worth sharing.
While we're here, under the Advanced section, you'll see other options. Depending on the voice, you may have additional options as well. For Adam, we have the options of vocal pitch and pace. You'll also notice the text field as well. That's where we'll type what we want the voice to say. In this case, I'm going to paste in my script for the financial educator so you can see how that's done and what it sounds like. Just click Save on the bottom, and it converts the text to speech. It could take a few seconds depending on the amount you enter in the text box. And that brings us to our first gotcha. Avoid using long run-on sentences at all costs. So you may be asking, why is this important? You see, the problem with text-to-speech is it doesn't naturally recover from long sentences. So the voice ends up sounding flat, rushed, or robotic, which is totally against what you're trying to create. Now I want to get back to the tutorial. But if you'd like an example, I'll be sure and post it at the end along with 4 others. So you won't have to stick around if you don't want to. Okay, so we've added text to the text box and clicked the Save button. So now we are just waiting for Clipchamp to finish converting the text-to-speech. And there we go. Now let's click the preview button and see how that sounds.
Only a small percentage of people ever reach true financial freedom before the age of 50. Most will work their entire lives and still worry about money.
Okay, not bad. But let's hop back to the preview button real quick. The preview button can be used to test the new text without saving. Once you like what you hear, then you can save it. One other note, transitions between tracks can cause the audio to hesitate during playback. If you use the preview button, you'll hear the voice without transitions, giving you what it will actually sound like after exporting. Okay, moving on. Now, if you want to get a real feel for the voice, go ahead and throw a draft image onto the timeline. This allows you to see your voice in action, so you can determine if it's the right voice for your project. It also gives you a sense on the voice pitch, which we'll be covering next.
Most will work their entire lives and still worry about money. But what if you didn't have to?
Okay, that sounds pretty good. But let's see what it sounds like with a different voice pitch. For that, go to Advanced. From there, you'll go to Vocal Pitch and use the drop-down button to select the pitch you'd like to try, at which point you can either preview or save.
Only a small percentage of people ever reach true financial freedom.
Only a small percentage of people ever reach true financial freedom before the age of 50.
Do you see how easy it is? I think we'll set it back to medium. That one seems to sound best for this type of content.
Only a small percentage of people ever
Let's check and see if that is the default voice.
Only a small percentage of people ever reach true financial freedom.
Yeah, that's it. We'll save it and move on. Next, we'll talk about pace. Now, pace is basically how quickly the voice speaks the text it's been given. It can give the appearance of being energetic, or it can make you drift off to sleep. If you want to speak faster, move the slider to the right. And if you want it to speak slower, slide it to the left.
Only a small percentage of people ever reach true financial freedom before the age of 50. Most will work their entire lives and still worry about money.
That's what it sounds like when we move the slider to the right. Now let's try moving it to the left.
Only a small percentage of people ever reach true financial freedom before the age of 50. Most will work their entire lives and still worry about money. But what if you didn't have to?
That was a bit too slow. Let's speed it up a bit.
Only a small percentage of people ever reach true financial freedom before the age of 50. Most will work their entire lives.
Well, that's all there really is to pace. But here's another tip. If you want to change the pace of the voice, always do it within the text-to-speech pane. Changing the speed in the main area can cause the voice to sound like listening to chipmunks. All right, let's move on. Our next example is going to be our historical narrator. In this voice, we manipulate both the pitch and pace. This produces a high level of anticipation that you want in this type of story. Let me load up a video clip to set the scene. Okay, now we're going to open up our text-to-speech. Remember, that's record and create, and then down to create text-to-speech. In this video, I want to give it a British narrator feel, so we'll go over to language. Select English, United Kingdom. For this example, we are going to use the voice named Brandon. Again, you just scroll down until you find your voice and click on it. Now, I'll copy and paste my text and then hit save. That brings us to our next tip, and this is where most people mess up. Make sure you click save if you want your changes to stick. It's annoying to make a bunch of changes. Forget to hit save, and then click on something else, and all your changes are gone, just like that. We'll start off this run with a 0.9 on pace and the default pitch. Let's go ahead and save that and play it.
On that fateful day in 1944, the waters off Normandy were churning with steel, smoke, and the resolve of thousands who knew history was about to change.
Not bad, but it's not quite the type of sound I'm looking for. Let's adjust the pitch.
On that fateful day in 1944, the waters off Normandy were churning with steel, smoke, and the resolve of thousands who knew history was about to change.
Okay, that works. Now, let's adjust the pace a bit.
On that fateful day in 1944, the waters off Normandy were churning with steel, smoke, and the resolve of thousands who knew history was about to change.
That's good. For the sake of example, let's test with a high pitch.
On that fateful day in 1944, the waters off Normandy were churning with steel.
All right, well, you see the difference. But we're going to move on to the millennial influencer. We'll go ahead and drop in the clip to get started. Once again, we'll go to record and create. Then down to create and text-to-speech. Okay, now we select a voice for our influencer. We're going to use Phoebe for this one, so let's test her voice.
Choose from a variety of voices to help you create a story worth sharing.
Good. Now, let's go down to advanced. And this is cool. Take a look, and you'll see Phoebe has emotion as an additional characteristic.
Choose from a variety of voices to help you create a story worth sharing. Choose from a variety of voices to help you create a story worth sharing.
You can hear the slight difference in the voice between sad and serious. Let's try adjusting the pitch.
Choose from a variety of voices to help you create a story worth sharing.
And once again, we'll paste in our script for this short. Let's take a listen.
Okay, you guys, I was not ready for this. I just picked up this new e.l.f. lipstick, and honestly, it's kind of insane.
All right, now time for those examples. But real quick, what was your favorite part of this tutorial? And did you enjoy it? Drop me a comment and tell me what kind of content you're going to use your AI voiceover for. All right, if you're still here, let's jump into those examples. The first gotcha is avoid run-on sentences.
Here's what I'm talking about when I say don't use long, drawn-out, complex sentences when using the text-to-speech as a tool for creating content.
In this example, the sentence is too long. There are no commas or natural breaks. Text-to-speech needs punctuation to pause and breathe. Without it, the voice rushes through the line, and it sounds robotic. The second gotcha gets most new creators because it's the easiest thing to do, and that's using default voice settings. That means avoid using the default pitch, default pace, language, or emotion. This will help distinguish your AI voice from others.
For example, this is the voice of Brandon, my historical narrator. But by changing the language to English United Kingdom, and the pace down to 0.9, it takes on a totally different sound.
On that fateful day in 1944, the waters off Normandy were churning with steel and smoke.
The third gotcha is choosing the wrong voice. Just because a voice sounds good doesn't mean it fits your content. Match the voice to the energy of the video, or even a great script will feel off. For example, this is what it would be like if I were to use my influencer voice Phoebe for my D-Day video.
On that fateful day in 1944, the waters off Normandy were churning with steel and smoke.
It doesn't sound bad, but it gives it a totally different vibe. So make sure you select the right voice for your content. All right, let's move on. The fourth gotcha is robotic pacing, and it quietly kills retention. Most creators use one flat speed. No pauses, no emphasis. Real people vary their pace. Slow down for key points, speed up through transitions, and your voice instantly sounds more natural and less AI. Here's an example.
This is a mistake that's killing your YouTube retention.
Notice there were no pauses, little inflection or emphasis on words. Compare that to this one.
This is a mistake that's killing your YouTube retention.
So be sure you use punctuation to help with pace and inflection. All right, that brings us to the final gotcha. The fourth was about using pauses to create emphasis. The fifth is about telling the AI what to emphasize. Most creators let every word sound the same. Add emphasis to key phrases, and your voice instantly becomes clearer, more engaging, and less robotic. Here, listen to these two.
This one change can double your watch time. This one change can double your watch time.
Did you notice how the phrase and quote stood out? Quotation marks help signal to the AI what you want emphasized. Just don't overuse them. Too many quotes can confuse the AI and cause it to ignore the emphasis altogether. To wrap this up, text-to-speech is an amazing tool, but how you use it makes a difference. Avoid these gotchas, and your AI voice will sound natural, intentional, and far more engaging. Fix the voice, and everything else performs better. Until next time, and good luck on your faceless freedom journey.